How's it going, my friends? It's me again. Um, as promised yesterday, I said I would describe a little bit about sort of how I'm going to take on this project. Now, if you don't know the project, it is Damien in Nature, is what I'm naming it right now. But it is essentially just taking back my mind, my agency, and what I recommend that I should be doing. And yeah, so yesterday's video was just the initiation of the idea, and I spent a little bit of time today just sort of figuring out exactly what it is I'm going to do to substitute um, the TV, the YouTube videos, the music in the background, and really just sort of reclaim my own time. And I mean, straight away, the things that come to mind. A little bit off right now, trying to catch where I'm at. Where am I? Okay. See, I've started this video without a real um, script or anything again, and I don't have that same passion that I had last night. But where I'm at is sounds really silly in my head, so I'm not saying it. But essentially, the way that I'm going to be reclaiming my own self is by picking up some toys. I've got a Rubik's Cube. You see, I've already said all of this last night already, so I don't really want to. I've got meow meow. Hey, meow meow. Hey, a little distraction. Yeah, that's sometimes how it goes. My camera also my stand also broke today, so you guys are sitting on a brick. And I got this little creature. Hey creature, you want to be part of the video today? Huh? Yeah, it does. Meow meow meow. Well, maybe this is a good way to start off what I'm saying. A few of the things I'm going to try um, to pick up animals. I love animals and spending time with animals and in nature, listening to the birds. Maybe you can hear them going by. Um, Pick up some hobbies again. I've got a football that I've just been dribbling around and kicking around. I was really never good at football in school, but it just takes some practice. You put yourself in front of the object, or in front of the hobby, in front of the toy, and you just get better at it, right? Now, I'm not 100% sure where I'm going with any of this. Probably going to have to do a lot of post editing to see if there's any a semblance of sense. And I've got Mau Mau just rubbing on my leg. Yeah. Let's try and get back on track here. What I've found is it's very hard to get away from screens. It's very hard to get away from this digital age where you always recommended videos and there's always someone watching something. Um, and so you really do have to put a few things in place just to ensure that you don't go back to videos, that I don't go back to watching videos mindlessly and listening to music, pretending like it's background, um, when in actual fact it just becomes foreground tasks. Yeah, so here I am. Today's been pretty good. I was chatting with some friends. I was chatting with my girlfriend, and she watched my video last night, gave me some good pointers. And right now I feel like I'm following none of them, other than being outside in the sun as I promised I would be. I'm not really nervous. I'm actually just not 100% sure what I came out here to say. And so I think I do need to prepare just a little bit how I want to put my videos together. The one thing that I do know is it does take maybe 50 videos before you get happy with your style, with the formula for creating these videos. And so I'm happy to just sort of get these out, get the practice done. see what works and what doesn't work for me. Yeah, and I found myself rambling without really a clear topic. And so I think I'm going to prepare a little bit better, prepare what I want to say, and just give myself like 3 main points and just flesh them out just a little bit and come back to you with something a bit better. But anyway, I'm going to upload this because it's all part of the journey. It's all part of what I'm trying to do here. And I would love to go back and see how I did and how I was doing. Because a year goes by really fast, you know. It was August last year where I was saying I'd love to do videos of these big statues around the city. And I look through my Google Photos and August is nearly here again, and it's 11 months down the line. And I didn't start it back then, and the footage is sitting there, and I never really got to doing it. But back to the point of how I'm going to stay on the right course here, make sure that I'm following my project, is just picking up some toys again, man. Being like a child and like having a Rubik's Cube, having a football, um, going out and just being comfortable in the silence that nature presents. You'll find there's actually not a lot of silence, and you can get your real perspective. Do I like listening to the birds? Which birds do I like listening to? You know, can I spot any of them in the trees out here? I've got a beautiful property out here as well, my granddad's property that I can just play around on. And so that's what I've been doing, just playing around, being comfortable in the silence. You know, I find that last night when I decided not to pick up any background videos, background music, I found that I had a lot of things I needed to do, like pack my clothes away, put my laundry one side, prepare clothes for the next day, do some exercises, prepare my day, review some of my writings. And, you know, I wouldn't have done that if I decided to put on a background video. Because what happens is I get so interested in that video that I just sit down and I watch it. And that's not what I want. You know, I want to have something in the background, sure, and then do the things that I should be doing. But instead of putting on the background video, because I knew that was going to already take my attention away, I spent the time doing the things I was supposed to. And while I was doing that, you know, the focus was writing out these things for myself. What are the things that I do, in what order? And eventually I can go back and look at that list and say, maybe I should move this task a little bit up. Maybe I should brush my teeth first. Maybe I should, you know, comb my hair, whatever it may be. You know, I found having time with myself again, there's already so much value in it, just last night. And so I suppose that's where we're left now, is when you're taking away the stuff that you shouldn't be doing, you find yourself doing the things that you should be doing. And, you know, it's really important to limit those things that you shouldn't be doing. You know, for smokers, for instance, if you don't want to find yourself smoking anymore, don't hang around smokers, cigarette boxes. You know, you're being your own worst enemy. And so just make yourself less available to these bad habits. I'm finding that is becoming what I need to do, you know. So easy to fall into old habits and these bad routines. But if you just give yourself a couple limiting rules and you just say, you know what, you're not good with cigarettes. For instance, with me for a while, like I wasn't good with cigarettes, and anytime there was smoke around me, I would just pick up another cigarette and go down that path again. And as soon as I said to myself, stop hanging around those people, stop hanging around in those bars, um, stopping smoking, right off, just like that, became a lot easier. And so that's what I call to do, is just keep my environment aligned with what I'm trying to do. So instead of having videos available, have Rubik's Cubes, puzzles, writing utensils, drawing utensils, books open, books I can read, books I can study from, books I can write in. Having those things available will help me stay on track for this project. And yeah, part of the project is recording it and chatting to you guys and understanding where I stand with it. And so that's the plan. Keep my environment aligned with what I'm trying to do, trying not to do. Anyway, thanks again for watching. This has been Damien in nature. Peace.